By the way, we do have Reno Johnny in with us as well.
All right, Reno, we need your 4 picks. You ready?
We're firing them off back to back to back.
Hey, do you play the piano?
I do play the piano, actually. Not a whole lot, but I self-taught me some piano. We'll start with our first game. You know, it's Thursday night football. I think it would be almost sacrilegious to not have a play on this game. I do pretty well Thursday night football. I will have a play every Thursday night football game, every Monday night football game. Give the people what they want. They want to bet Thursday nights to start the week off right, Monday nights to make all your money back, or you know, in some cases to compound your winnings. Let's start with an over, which is probably not a very popular play from the last couple of seasons. We've noticed that prime time overs typically are not the play, and typically in my personal handicapping, I don't really like overs in general. Overs are what the public loves and what the public wants. But in this situation, we do think that we have two offenses that might be a little bit further along than most in terms of week one productivity. I don't think the Chiefs offense is going to regress. I think they're actually going to get a lot better this year with Xavier Worthy. Kind of excited. I think Xavier Worthy has the potential to be the Tyreek Hill just with his speed alone, and the offense is built just on speed. But I look at the Ravens being able to score a lot. I think Zay Flowers is going to have a big year. He's going to be in conversation for, you know, being the top 5 receiver in the league, I believe. I think Mark Andrews is healthy. I think the running game is going to be a stellar for the Ravens. I think that this game has potential to get a lot of scoring early and a lot of scoring throughout the game. So I'm actually going to take the over. I got 46. I'm seeing a lot of 47s. I think 46 is definitely playable. Probably going to look at getting a first half in there as well. You can get about 22 and a half, 23 and a half for that. So that's going to be a play that I'll be on heavily. I think that both offenses can get scoring. And one thing about Lamar Jackson that we've seen is regular season Lamar, you know, lights it up. It's playoff Lamar that you got to have to worry about. So I think that's an opportunity for us to cash our first NFL play of the year, taking that. The other play, we're going to head into baseball. At the end of the day, it's still baseball season for us, especially if you're a fan of a team that's playoff bound or looking to make the playoffs. As I finally am a part of that conversation. Are you
thinking about Baltimore?
I'm thinking, I like Baltimore. They are on the day off on Thursday. What I do like in terms of a play for tomorrow will be the Diamondbacks and the Giants. Looking at that, taking a nice under 7.5 as the play. Blake Snell, Merrill Kelly, both pitchers that have been in decent form. Blake Snell is one of those pitchers that has really been an anomaly. If you look at his first 6-7 starts per season, he's been terrible. This year, Blake Snell was terrible in his first couple starts, landed right back on the IL. So he really took a minute to kind of get back into what we call his midseason form. But since his return from his last stint in the IL, we can just read off some of these earned runs, and we're going to go 0-0. Well, we'll actually start even further than that. We'll go 3-3, 0-0, 2-0, 0-3, 0-1, 2-1. And that's with him pitching at least 6 innings in all but 5 of those starts. He's been pitching really, really well. It's a pitcher's ballpark. So we're going to take Blake Snell in that matchup to kind of limit offense. One on the other side of the coin is Merrill Kelly's really struggled. However, we're not really high on the Giants offense. So we actually like that to go under the 7.5. And you're catching even money, which is always something that, you know, I'm always looking for the best possible juice when you're betting a total. So those are the games I like in terms of that. We're going to head to college football. I got 2 plays that I really like. SMU versus BYU. We're going to take the points with BYU. I think SMU, I underestimated their ability to kind of bounce back into the new season with a lot of new players, including a bunch of transfers on the offensive side of the football. They really struggled against Nevada, and maybe we're not giving Nevada enough credit. Look, I'm a Nevada fan, and I've faded them 2 weeks in a row, and I've lost 2 weeks in a row. So I've been laying points against Nevada. They've really proved me wrong. I just like BYU's ability to kind of hang around this game. Maybe SMU came in a little bit overrated. Those transfers are going to take a little bit more time to kind of get their feet under them. So we're going to take the points there. That last play of the day here, I think Nebraska's back. Really big fan of this Dillon kid. And there's a lot of comparisons to Patrick Mahomes in terms of looks, and I get that. But I think the kid is, one, he's a highly touted recruit. And there's a lot of talk. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he was saying, like, Nebraska better be careful. They're talking a lot of crap. You know what? It's no difference than what Colorado's done the last couple of years. Like, I do think Dylan Raiola is a really good talent. I think he's really accurate. I think this is a kid that can actually lead Nebraska on the offensive side of the football. And I think their defense wasn't a problem, right? This is a team that last year their problem was on the offensive side of the football. That kid actually went to Nevada, Brock Purdy's brother, right? So I think they have a whole new look in terms of offense. I don't like laying the points necessarily, but I think what we saw from Colorado is a team that, look, no discredit to North Dakota State. I think North Dakota State's probably going to win the Division II, the FCS championship in terms of, when they get into their regular season. I just think that Colorado, for as big, they came in almost double-digit favorites and probably could have still lost that football game. I don't think Colorado's there. They're not definitely where they think they're going to be. I think it's going to be a tough environment to kind of go in on the road off a game that you had. I mean, it was a pretty packed environment when I watched that game, Colorado versus North Dakota State. I think this environment might get to them just a little bit. Travis Hunter, great athlete, but a couple of those he pushed off. And I'm not talking about little push-offs. He was pushing off. I mean, they called just one or two of those back. It's a different ball game. I think that we're going to have Nebraska amped up. They have a quarterback that can lead the way. They have a defense that I think got better from last year, and they're a team that I think can run away with this Colorado team. So the only thing for me is Colorado's kind of been that team that they've been there. They've got blown out last year. They understand, maybe made some adjustments, but I just think Nebraska's too good on offense, too good on defense, and we'll lay the points there at 7.5.
Wow, listen to you. Look at the confidence in Mr. Johnny.
After 1 and
3
or 2 and 2, there's only one way you can go up. You can't.
Pete Bercich.
What's going on?
What's going on, my friend? How are you?
Oh, look at that! Look at that big chew. You can see it from the coaching picture.
What are you chewing there? What are you chewing?
Oh, bubble gum, I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
Just bubble gum, I'm sure. Yeah.
If you don't know who he is, we are now talking to ex-Vikings linebacker, current Vikings Radio Network broadcaster, our friend Pete Bercich. Petey, what is up, my friend?
Not much. It's amazing how quickly a year can go by, huh?
Yeah, boy, oh boy.
It's like, here we go. Here we go.
Was enough for me all season.
Yeah. But it's exciting. We start tomorrow night, right? Thursday night starts the season, and here we go. Here we go again. You
start in New York.
Yeah, we start now with the Giants, so that'll be interesting. We'll see how that goes. Actually, the New Jersey Giants. Excuse me.
Oh,
I got that wrong. I
You're gonna
apologize.
piss all the Giant fans off now.
Usually it's the Bills fans that do that. Not as much.
Oh yeah. There's only one team in New York. I get it. Yeah. That's what they say all the time, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think they're lost, but that's just me.
Well, yeah, it is what it is.
We definitely are lost people, lost ones. As Jay-Z always says.
Yeah, I mean, of course we're lost. Every year we think our team's going to win and do well, and so of course we're lost.
Yeah.
Right?
What are you trying? Are you trying to throw that to the Jet fans now?
He's describing the epitome of Jet fan.
Anybody who knows me about this show, even as a Jet fan, I'm always for real when it comes to the Jets. I don't beat around the bush. I know where the Jets are, and I don't trust the Jets until 5 games into the season. Aaron Rodgers could stay on those 2 feet, and he actually doesn't go down after 4 plays. When that happens, maybe the Jets have something. Until then,
you don't
bad.
Right. That's 5 games, you don't buy until they're mathematically out of it, right?
Which is usually after 3 games.
Yeah, I saved some stats. I saw about Aaron Rodgers and his accuracy, I believe, on 20 or 30 plus yard throws. He's struggling with it, obviously. And, the last time he threw one was like 2 years ago. So good luck, man.
Packers receivers.
Maybe
good luck.
Well, remember, he hasn't played for you.
Well, I mean, on the bright side, at least you're not, he's not much of a salary cap hit, right?
No, not this year. Yeah, right.
Only $38 million, right?
Yeah, only. Hey, listen, it's definitely under all the other guys. I mean, Daniel Jones is making more money than him.
That's a good point, though. That's a very good point. He's not making it. Our guy's not making that much, but here we go. Right?
Listen, I'm going to tell you something. I love Sam Darnold. I have stuck up for Sam Darnold for many, many years. I thought the Jets made a big mistake letting him go. I mean, you did get a lot back for him. You got a second and a fourth, and obviously that second became Breece Hall. You moved up with the Giants, and you got Breece Hall, so you can't really sit here and make any excuses. You still got a pretty good player. But I do believe that Daniel Jones is not Sam Darnold, and Sam Darnold isn't Daniel Jones. So we all understand what the quarterback is, but the Giants haven't given Daniel Jones anything. And I do believe Sam Darnold actually has a wide receiver to throw to this year. So I think that it speaks loudly. And I do believe, and you know this, Mr. Bercich, you look at right now where the Minnesota Vikings are. I think Jones is a pretty good running back. And I think with Jefferson healthy this year, 100% healthy, and when TJ Hockenson comes back, this could be an explosive offense with Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, there's a reason the guy was drafted where he was, right? Because of the arm strength and because of the numbers. And I think if you're going to have a guy going into free agency, getting him on a prove it year or in the last year of their deal is always good. I mean, it helped us with, Danielle Hunter played more physically at outside linebacker all last year than he had in quite some time. But he was playing for that last contract. So, for Darnold, this is it. I mean, this is probably if he doesn't, probably going to be his last decent contract, and that's exactly what he's playing for. If he goes and lights it up this year and proves to the league that I can be a good quarterback, then he's going to be set the rest of his life. So you have him at the right time. We were excited about JJ McCarthy. I think McCarthy, he's, from a personality standpoint and who he is, he's everything that they could have wanted. I think
he's a pretty boy. Stop lying. He's a pretty boy. Every single woman wants to get into his pants. I mean,
he's a pretty boy.
He is 100% a pretty boy, and hopefully he can step on the field and put up the numbers, as we've heard Jim Harbaugh come out and say.
But he doesn't. He doesn't walk around with a purse, though.
No, that's only Zach Wilson to recruit the older women.
I'm just saying, whatever.
You don't like the man purse?
I think he fundamentally had come along a lot more, or a little bit more quickly than they had expected. We'll never know how close it was between Darnold and McCarthy going in. Was there really a threat there? We'll never know that now with the injury. But it does eliminate that. Darnold was kind of in a no-win situation, no matter, unless he was just unbelievable lights out. Everybody would have wanted McCarthy after the first series that ends in a punt. They're going to be like, get him out, get McCarthy, get him out. So, in that respect, it ends that controversy, or that elephant in the room, if you will, because teams that have any type of quarterback controversy usually don't do well, especially if the locker room's divided. And once the locker room gets divided, forget it, because half the guys want one, half the it just doesn't work real well. So it's Darnold's team. He's going back to a stadium he's familiar with. We'll see how Jordan Addison progresses the rest of this week, Jalen Naylor. And whether, if those guys are healthy or not, it's going to be, that's a big deal. So we'll see.
So Justin Jefferson was the first of the ripple effect with the wide receiver contracts. There were a couple others after that: Jalen Waddle, St. Brown, and then CeeDee Lamb just recently, and still not Jamar Chase. So what are your thoughts to all those receiver contracts that have happened this offseason?
It's amazing how it took a little while. The rule changes started with the quarterbacks and keeping them healthy, because nobody wants to pay $300, $400, $500 a seat to go watch a backup quarterback, right? So they started protecting the quarterbacks more. The other rule changes that have come into play, the receivers are just more active and more part of it. You throw in technology like the gloves and, some of those other things makes throwing the ball a lot easier. So the receivers have definitely become a more important part of the offense. Throwing the ball obviously is more of an essential part of the offense. It's JJ. I think the one thing since he's gotten paid, I will say he's taken on, at least from what I could see so far, and this is a couple days of practice in Cleveland against the Browns and some of the preseason games. He's taken on a lot more of a leadership role, and I think sometimes there's an evolution for a player, because when they're drafted and they're rookies, they just want to contribute, right? They just want to do some good things, and then a few years into it, you get to that first contract, and then they want to get paid. And then a lot of times once they get that money, that to them, they feel like the franchise believes in me. My teammates believe in me, the GM, everybody, they all believe in me. And so they're able to assume more of a leadership role. And I think that, that Jefferson has done that, at least from what I could tell, from watching at practice. I mean, I'm not there in meetings. I'm not there in the locker room, so you don't see all that. But so for JJ, we just need him to stay healthy, which is kind of an amazing part of his career, because up until the hamstring injury, he never missed a game, right? These numbers that he's putting up, it's because he's been healthy, and he's as good of a player as he is now because he stayed healthy. When 2 years ago, when Detroit was jamming him with the corner and keeping a safety over the top, and they basically shut him down, kept them well under 100 yards. He had, it was out there. It was on film. The league saw it. So other teams tried to replicate it. And as the season went on, he figured out what he had to do to beat that type of coverage. And, so him being healthy is what I think is a very underrated part of his game, as good as he is with everything else. Hopefully the 7 games that he missed, or I think it was 7 games that he missed last year, is more of a aberration than it is something that we're going to see going forward, because we can't afford to not have him for 6-7 weeks at a time.
I would love to see, and I know your partner is Mark Rosen, right? Am I right? Mark Rosen?
On TV on Sunday mornings, yeah. Are you talking about in the booth? That's Paul Allen. Paul Allen's the guy in the booth.
All right. Yeah. So who do you think could do the gritty better? Is it you, Paul Allen, or Mr. Mark Rosen? Who would be doing the gritty better?
Mark Rosie's probably he's close to 80 years old, so I would take him out. And Paul has a hard time, walking to the booth if he's chewing on gum, although he'll tell you that he's a track athlete. So, yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, I think I could, yeah.
I would love to see you do the gritty. I
don't think I've ever done it, and I don't know if I ever will. Right? It's not it's his thing, right? Let the kids do it, let him do it. I mean, I remember the first time you guys actually showed it. It was the first home game. I think it was the second game of the season when he caught that big long touchdown against Tennessee, and he actually did it for the first time. If you listen to it, we didn't even say anything because we're just like, what was that? Right. And then, of course, 24 hours later, everybody's doing it in the Mall of America. They're doing it in the hallways at school. It's like, it just kind of took off. But, we saw that with, with the icky shuffle, all that kind of stuff. You've seen it in the past where some, certain things just kind of take off. And, so for JJ, it's good that he's known for that, I guess. I like to see him do it. I know Kevin O'Connell doesn't like it when he does the fake pulled hamstring thing, especially now. So he's got a, I think my favorite celebration of his, and I can't remember who it was against, but he got fined for it. But they had him one-on-one outside with a corner who was probably about 5'10". Then he caught the touchdown on him, and he, made the little hand, kind of like this. And I guess he hurt somebody's feelings because they fined him for it, which I don't know, man. Just go watch Jack Lambert play. I think Jack Lambert embarrassed a lot of people all the time.
Terrell Owens. I mean,
Yeah.
he embarrassed everybody, including almost got killed on the Cowboys squad.
Yeah. The game's been kind of the game's been sanitized quite a bit now that I think about it. You know, you talk about the evolution of the wide receivers in that position, and you know, people just like, yeah, running back, sure, we'll find one somewhere. They don't even care anymore. You know, and then it's a lot more sanitized out there. That's for sure.
As everybody knows, we are talking to ex-Vikings linebacker, current Vikings Radio Network broadcaster, Pete Bercich, friend of the show, great personality, great broadcaster.
Take it easy on the friend of the show thing.
Listen, you're a friend of the show. Listen, it's not my problem that you hate the Jets. It's okay.
I never said I hate the Jets.
You hate the Jets.
No, stop. You know what? The only thing I have against the Jets is we were playing the Jets when they blew my knee out in 2000. Wait, no, 99. It was 1999. We had a game against the Jets, and so that's when I finally figured out why there was a payphone in the locker room at the Meadowlands. Right? You go in the training room and get taped, and then you look and there's this payphone sitting on the wall, and I'm like, what the hell is this phone doing in the locker room?
That's the Belichick phone. That's the Belichick phone. That's the Belichick phone.
Well, that's the phone.
When the Jets gave him the contract and he was there for 24 hours, that was the phone he called Robert Kraft with.
Really? That's awesome. That's the same. Yeah, it's the same phone I used to call my loved ones back home to say, "Yep, I'm done. Torn ACL. All right. Yep. Yep. Okay. All right. Yep. Yeah. Eggs and milk. I got it. Okay. Goodbye." And then hang it up, and then you go.
You're the first victim of the horrible MetLife Stadium turf, I say.
It was actually they had replaced it. It was 99. They had a certain turf in there, and then they replaced it, got new turf in 99. It was like softer. It was just a different type of AstroTurf and whatever. But yeah, the turf there. I remember, it was in 2000 when you guys had the hybrid mixture of grass and artificial. That was the NFC Championship game against the Giants. And by that time, it was just basically mud and hybrid, and fake grass. Because we were wearing baseball cleats out there. We didn't even you couldn't even wear 7-stud or the regular football cleats. We had to wear baseball cleats because it was just so hard. Because it was just dirt.
New York.
I don't say that. Why are you saying that?
Now come on, Pete.
These are all things that happen. And it's not like,
I'm going to bob and weave.
If you want to deviate and take shots somewhere else, you could take a shot at Errol's second favorite team, the Eagles, that had a jail cell in their stadium.
Jesus.
Well, they also like to eat horse crap when they win Super Bowls.
Jeez.
I mean,
what was the name of the old stadium that in Philly?
Speedy.
It was Veterans.
Yeah, Veterans Stadium. Yeah. I mean, I played there in college, and I remember it was raining, and I remember that we had our white jerseys on, and I just remember sliding around on the turf. And then you get up, and they were just you would be brown from all the chew spit that was embedded in the turf, and it got wet, so it kind of some of that stuff kind of seeped to the surface. I also heard from Chuck Knox Jr. that the rats, because they would take the garbage and throw it in the tunnels, and then they wouldn't pick it up until Monday morning, and then he would be coming into work on early Monday morning, and yeah, he said the biggest rats he'd ever seen. I don't know why that popped into my head, but
because you hate the Eagles.
Philly stories.
Everybody hates the Eagles except me. Everybody tells me.
I don't hate the Eagles. It's a rough place to play. I'll tell you that.
I mean, I like to get under. I love.
I know. Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
And you like to get under my skin. Okay. And I'm not very excited about the Jets season, by the way. I'm sure all the Jet fans out there thinking that this is just going to be a sweet season, Super Bowl or bust. But we've been saying that for 50 years. And
we've been saying it since 1961. Right? Yeah. We've been there, 4 times? Yeah, 4 times and lost all of them.
Well, you should blame Brett Favre for that one.
Well, yeah, there's some other, yeah. Mm-hmm. That was probably one of the craziest. God, I think you make me think about that day. It was one of the craziest days
I remember.
I mean, one of the craziest games. I mean, for a number of reasons. Have you ever been to a Saints game?
I've never been to a Saints game. No, never.
All right, because what you don't see is after they score a touchdown and they put points up, and then you go to a commercial break, they play music and everybody dances.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a video, and I have to find it. But I had a cup of coffee sitting on the counter in the booth, and they had just scored a touchdown, and there's 70 some thousand, 80,000. I don't know how big that place is, but it's huge. But the coffee in my cup was swaying back and forth like I was on the Titanic or something. Literally. That's how, and it was really incredible. I mean, the JETS, Jets. I think that's one of the best things, in football. The national anthem in Kansas City, I think is one of the greatest things, in sports. But I'm telling you, man, that was one of the craziest things I'd ever seen. What do we got going on there?
Oh, that's just one of
them. Oh, there's our Fred Fireman Ed.
And there's Bambi Sala. I gave Robert Saleh the perfect nickname. I call him Bambi Sala. That's his name. Look at him. His head's on Bambi. I mean, he's perfect. I mean, serious. But honestly, I say JETS sucks. Okay, because every single year we suck. All right, I'm just speaking the truth. Listen, I'm doing a live show at Miller's Ale House here on Long Island tomorrow, and there's going to be a lot of Jet fans. There are going to be a lot of Jet fans there, and I am going to be an honest Jet guy. I'm honest. I'm not going to be one of those fake guys on podcasts saying, "Oh, we're going to win 14 games this year, and we're winning the Super Bowl. We're knocking off the Kansas City Chiefs." I don't know what to believe. All I know is that this organization and this team has not made the playoffs in over 13 years. Okay.
Wow.
This to me
has
been an absolute debacle. And if this team doesn't make the playoffs this year with this talent, not only is Bambi Sala going to be gone, I do believe Joseph Douglas is going to be cleaning up that crap in the tunnels over there at Eagle Stadium. So,
well, could be.
I mean, I
could be.
I can't be happy.
Yeah, we unfortunately for us up here up north, we haven't gone through a spell quite that long. We've had some rough seasons, but it's been we haven't had a drought like that in a long time.
Well,
in fact, I think we are. Well, I mean, we can't change that. It's not my fault. We're in the NFC North. Jeez. No, I'm saying I think we're like one of the most. We have one of the. Like we're number 3 in winning percentage. Over the last 20 some years, 30 some years. I mean, we have nothing to show for it. I know the
Vikings are 7th all time, so that
we have nothing to show for it. We don't have any hardware to hang or anything, no banners to drop. But
it was you guys in the Bengals for a while.
I guess
top 5, yeah.
Yeah, I guess my question to you is what's worse?
I think the Jets are worse, honestly.
Well, at least you guys can look forward to the draft every year.
Look forward to what?
Oh, no, the
draft. I mean, because you're always drafted up top, right? I mean, you get better draft picks.
And let's go through.
And then draft Zach Wilson.
Let's go up top. Zach Wilson, a complete bust. Kyle Brady, complete bust. I mean, I could go on and on and on.
I don't know. Like we don't have any.
Well,
I mean, we've had our fair share.
Let me tell you something. I am not going to sit here and say that the Vikings are great at drafting, but let's be honest. The Vikings have gone a little bit further than the New York Jets in the last 12, 13 years. So I think you have something to brag about. As a Jet fan, my nickname and my team's nickname is Gang Green, okay? That enough said on it, okay? Gang Green. Out of all the team names, all the nicknames, you're going to call my team Gang Green? I mean, what is Gang Green? Well, if you get gangrene,
it's an
your hand
infection.
falls off. I mean, your hand could fall off, your leg could fall off, your
Smells
nose
like
could fall
cheese.
off. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, but listen, there's a lot of things that smell like cheese, including Speedy, in other places, and that I don't want to say on national radio.
No. Smelly cheese is what Pete's hoping for the Packers this year. Just having to
Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, do you guys play the Packers this year? The Jets?
No.
I don't think so.
No, not this year. Thank God.
Right. I was going to say, because that's the only team I hope everybody beats.
Well, I will say this. This is the first year that I could say your division is stacked. I really like your division. You have probably the
everybody likes
them, and I believe the Baltimore, the North over there, the AFC North over there. So
yeah, the AFC North. That's still tough. That's still a tough division. Those guys there they still get after it. We had the Packers and the Lions had some success in the playoffs, so then everybody automatically thinks that you're going to pick up right where you left off the year before, and that sometimes happens. Doesn't always happen, but it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it'll be a tougher. I think San Francisco is still going to be a good football team. Obviously, and I don't know. Just read off everybody who won the division last year, and
I can tell you this.
Buccaneers.
Well, okay. So let me ask you this then.
Hit it.
How do you think? How are the Falcons going to do? Because that's a team right there where you're thinking they look nothing like they did a year ago. They've spent a ton of money, right? Can they do it, or is it like the Dallas Cowboys back in the '90s where you just sign an all-star team and see if it's going to work? You know what I mean?
I'll tell you this. They have. I'll tell you why it's not going to mean anything. They have a coach named Raheem Morris. He's from Austria. He went to Austria. He sucks. They hired the wrong coach. They could have brought in Bill Belichick, but Robert Kraft screwed the Atlanta Falcons and reached out to Mr. Arthur Blank. And that's why his last name is Blank. Okay? Because Blank, not X marks the spot. Blank has marked the spot. All right, so that's all I'm going to say.
Don't worry.
Well, explain to me how Kraft ruined it for. I mean, how did Kraft ruin it?
He reached out to Arthur Blank, and I don't know if you've heard the story. And he told Arthur not to hire Bill Belichick. It would be the biggest mistake of his team situation.
There's a couple other teams too. Washington, the Titans, I think they said, don't hire Bill Belichick.
Don't hire Bill Belichick. Robert Kraft reached out to all these teams. And by the way, if you watch the Tom Brady, what do they call that?
Roast.
The roast. It took a lot to get Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick to have a shot together. Okay. It took a lot. So obviously that story is somewhat true. Because if you look at Bill Belichick in his face, and by the way, Tom Brady protecting when Kevin Hart attacked him. I think it was Kevin Hart that said something funny about him and said something about going to massage parlors. And he said, whoa, don't do that. But, listen, I would love to hang out with Robert Kraft. I mean, come on. Who wouldn't want to hang out with Robert Kraft?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting.
Your wife would definitely not let you hang out with Robert Kraft.
Oh yeah, this graphic.
Well, look at this graphic. Who would you hang out with? Who would you hang out with?
Oh my God! So what are our choices here?
Draymond Green, Deshaun Watson, Robert Kraft, and Antonio Brown. In order, who would you hang out first?
I don't know.
They all like to show their private parts in many different areas.
Yeah. I don't. That's a good one. That's a tough question.
That's a good question. I think I'd go Robert Kraft first. The old man knows how to wiggle.
Yeah. He knows how to wiggle out of trouble. At least you'd be flying a nice jet wherever you're going to get in trouble. You know what I mean?
Hey, listen, he's sleeping with a 23-year-old, so he knows how to wiggle. So does Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
His new girlfriend.
Yeah. How about that one?
Hot Tui.
She's probably yeah, right. She's probably just praying to God he gets another job coaching, so he's gone more
Are you
often.
kidding me? She's probably
Right.
praying to God she gets married so he drops dead.
Hey, Pete, who says that team doesn't hire her as the next cheerleader?
Oh my God, you guys! Oh my goodness!
Bill Belichick coaching the Cowboys. You know Jerry Jones would be on board hiring a 24-year-old cheerleader.
Damn right. I've been watching that cheerleader show on.
Wait, I thought his daughter was running that team now. Dallas.
His son has some authority now, but you know Jerry Jones will still find his way into those types of decisions.
Well, why?
How? Yeah, I mean, how about that guy? I mean, it's like
in his 80s,
83, I think Jerry Jones.
I was gonna say because I think I was like my teens when he was making decisions. It's like the guy. He's just been there. He's been there forever. He's like Virginia McCaskey, just been there since I don't know, aviation. I mean, it's just like forever.
Oh,
crazy.
Think about this, Pete. And by the way, we are speaking and we are talking to ex-Vikings linebacker and current Vikings Radio Network broadcaster Pete Bercich. He's a friend of the show, even though he probably doesn't want to admit to it. But could you imagine a circle jerk with Robert Kraft, Jerry Jones? Hold on, that's not the final one. And Joe Shane.
Oh God.
Maybe he can ask his kids who he's going to draft.
You need to start meditating. You gotta find a way to silence your mind, because I cannot even imagine the demented stuff that flows through between those ears of yours.
Oh yeah, there's enough.
I mean, oh my gosh. Yeah, seriously, you need to figure out a way to just silence your mind every once in a while.
How about well, let's put Schneider there. We'll take Joe Shane out.
And he's doing the opposite of what you were implying.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God.
Oh, that's Blossom.
That's fantastic.
That is fantastic. That's great. That's great.
How about a rocket-powered, jet-powered school bus? That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, with me driving it, that'll be deadly right there.
Yeah, right over the cliff. Right over the cliff, right, buddy?
Listen,
I don't want to hit Jeff first.
Hey, listen, if the bus is on fire, I might as well just jump out of it. I have a better chance of surviving.
True.
Or maybe not if it's going 60 or 70 miles per hour. But
you can tell yourself whatever you want, buddy.
Well, they say stop, drop, and roll. I probably dive, drop, and roll.
Okay, so put the graphic about. I want to ask him the first question. Ask Pete about the guitar logo.
Could you spit it out? Jesus.
So the guitar picture. I never saw that one that you had in Pete's graphic. Do you remember that story? Like where you were with that guitar?
Which one?
The one graphic up.
Is it the one where I'm all decked out with the zombie paint and everything?
I don't know.
Is it just or is it purple?
I think it was purple. Fish.
Yeah. So graphic, all right. Well, hopefully we'll see it here. Well, the curtains are.
Yeah, that
one.
On
oh
the
yeah.
right.
Okay, on the right. Okay, so that is my. It's a 2008 Charvel custom shop San Dimas in metallic purple. So it's that's one of the nicest guitars I've ever played. So yeah, that's a good one. That's a beauty. You got the painted headstock on there and the whole thing.
I used to be a drummer for 10 years. I had 10 years. Yeah, I was actually.
You know what? I'll have to send Kyle some pictures of the band. In fact, I don't know if I could do it now. I don't know if it'll kill my camera or whatever.
It'll kill your camera.
If you can, hold on a second. I was in a band originally. It was called Vomit, right? But it
cool.
had the umlaut. But then we renamed it. It's me, a guy named Mark Parrish, who played for the Rangers for quite some time. I don't know if you guys remember him.
I actually been trying to get him on the show. Actually,
I actually interviewed Mark Parrish. He's
that's because I talked to Mark and I said, "Don't do it. Whatever you do." I'm like, no. You don't.
Mark is a nice guy.
Mark is the best.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and then a guy named Chris Hockey, who is one of our producers for the radio, but he has a morning show and he's a singer. He actually does regular music, and some other guys. And we, we've played some shows.
No,
honestly,
I can jam. I can jam, man.
I bet you can.
I can jam. I had a Tama Rockstar drum set, just like Lars Ulrich. I had a double bass pedal.
You go.
I had about I love cymbals, so I had all different cymbals from Zildjian to Zabian. I had different gongs, and I flipped them over. I always wanted to make different sounds. So, and by the way, I actually had a very rare drum set. It's called a Sonar see-through drum set. It was baby blue, very rare.
Sonar, okay.
Sonar see-through drum set. You could see right through it. You know, I could probably hide Speedy in my bass drum. That's how big it was.
Okay. Hide Speedy in my bass drum. Yeah, that's good. All right, I'm gonna send some photos to Kyle of the band.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
Do you have long hair?
Oh yeah, I got them.
Well, I mean, at the time I did. At the time I did.
I could see you like that. I could see a mullet on your head. I could see one of those. I could.
It's even better.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see.
Yeah, yeah, because I have. You remember Blackie Lawless from Wasp?
Of course.
All right, so Blackie used to wear the table saw blade on his arm, right? Mm-hmm. So the one I have is an actual table saw blade.
Mm-hmm.
I had a guy, not a fake one like Blackie would wear. This thing was actually laser cut in half, and then put that on the spikes, everything. It was like Halloween. It was just fantastic. It's absolutely a blast.
The best time I ever had on a stage, I actually got a chance to play with Joe Satriani. You know who Joe Satriani is?
Oh yeah, I know. He's a very good guitar player.
Yep, he taught Kurt Hammett how to play the guitar in Slash.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe Satriani, my group won Battle of the Bands, and he was at the event, and he came on the stage and played. He jammed a couple of tracks with us. I'll never forget it, and that was the first time.
Were you just nervous that if he kept looking over his shoulder at you because you don't want to mess anything up?
Listen, I've always been the same. What you see on this show is what I am off air. Speedy would probably tell you I'm a little bit crazy, but I like to have fun. I am a crazy. Or
shameless.
I'm not. I don't care. I like to have fun. I like to entertain people, and I'll never forget. I walked off the stage and. At first, I didn't even know who he was, okay? And everybody was like, oh, that guy taught Slash how to play. And I was like, yeah, I know Slash, yeah, whatever, whatever.
Yeah.
I stepped off the stage, and I'll never forget. I'm like, Joe, who's Slash? And he looked at me, and he looked at me like I had 6 heads, and he turned around, and he shook his head. And I purposely did it because I wanted to see his reaction to it. I was waiting for him to tell him, "Are you kidding me? Are you that stupid?" So it was funny. I thought it was funny. He didn't obviously think it was funny, but
that's good.
Slash
he's a guy that pretty much saved Gibson. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say saved Gibson, but helped him out.
No, did he
brought the Les Paul back in?
Did he ever jam on it, man?
Yeah, there we go.
Who the hell is that?
Yeah, it's me.
Who's that guy in the background?
That is a guy named Sam Van Moore. He's probably one of the best bass players you'll ever see. He's playing a Warwick. The guitar I'm playing there is that's a 85 Gibson Explorer that was completely resto modded, if you will.
Beautiful.
But yeah. And then I think if you look closely on my T-shirt, you can see the unicorn that I have. I have a bedazzled unicorn on my shirt.
Oh, guess what? That's not the cat.
Spikes. You gotta have the spikes in the blood.
What the hell do you have on your arm? What the hell is that? Spikes?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Trying to hurt
No, you
somebody?
just go to there's a website called Metal Devastation. You can order all that stuff. They got the boots, with the shin guards and then the
Listen,
the spikes on the arm.
if I'm some gothic person, or I want to do, want to hang out and do sexual things
Yeah.
with them, that would be perfect for me.
Well, I'll say, let me say this too, and you might know this, but the closest I ever got in my life to like the pregame jitters or that pregame feeling was playing like that in front of people. And I sent a picture. I mean, a couple of our shows we had 4,000 or 5,000 people there, but to get up on stage and play music in front of that many people is absolutely terrifying. I mean, absolutely terrifying.
I am a DJ, and I actually traveled in my 20s, all over the country, all over the world. And the most I've ever DJ'd in front of was almost 40,000 people. And I was up on a 50-foot rafter, okay? 50 foot. I had to climb. I don't even
That's
have
awesome.
my stuff up there. And I was like standing on, I can't even, it's about the size of that desk right there. And I'm about like 75, 50 feet in the air and in front of people, like going crazy. Rave, and it was crazy. But I don't get scared of that. I can stand in front of people, entertain people. It doesn't matter. I don't care. There's nothing. If you know what you're capable of doing, it doesn't bother me. It's like football, like football.
It's like I said, for me, it was just, it was cool. It was really, really cool to be able to do that.
Your wife. Look at that sexy man. Ooh.
Yeah, so you could see the table saw blade that was actually cut. It was a table saw that we got cut in half. But that's the Gibson Explorer that I got. So still have that guitar actually.
You're still kicking it, man.
Pete, I don't know if you remember this. The first time we ever had you on the show, back in 2022, it was the day I lost a bet to one of our fans, Carl, and I had to wear a wig and stuff on my head. And you actually said I looked like the drummer from Cinderella. I don't know if you remember that.
We got to get that picture and Speedy in the background. That would be great.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good.
We got to add Speedy in the background in his dress. That would be perfect.
That would be perfect.
Pete, we gotta get together soon.
Are we gonna talk about football or what? Well, I'm gonna be in New York Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday is pretty busy.
Yeah, you're busy. I know you're busy. I get it.
Listen, I want to come to Minnesota. I thought you were gonna let us come on the pregame show or something, man.
What have I told you before? You just let me know when you're gonna be up here.
Invite us, and I will come.
He did. He invited us.
I just did.
I just did. All right. I tell you what. Pick a game this year, and I'm coming.
Oh my God! I wish the Jets were playing up here.
I do not. I will not come.
We would have you come up here and then just go in the radio studio and be that guy. Be the Jet fan. Huh?
Yeah, you want me to throw up? The Jet fan. I am the realest of all Jet fans. I'm going to throw
You guys
up.
play the Texans? They have a lot of ex-Jets on their team.
Yeah, we do actually. We play it's the second or third game this year. We play the Texans. And they got a Viking on there, and that's where Daniil Hunter ended up.
Yes. And you guys got Grenard back.
Yeah, we swapped him out for Grenard. So we could like I said, just any time.
I'll have Speedy pick a home game, and we'll come up there. I would love to come up there.
You'll probably. This is flyover country. You're probably going to have to jump out of the plane to get here, but
be awesome. Sometimes that's something I do.
Every once in a while they land. Yeah, there we go.
Oh yeah, there it is.
There's
That's
no
fantastic.
place like home. There's no place like home.
Exactly. There's no place like home. Oh my God. That's unbelievable.
He looks like the girl from The Ring, doesn't he?
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I think he does. He does.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
Pete,
we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk. Oh, I thought we were gonna talk football or whatever.
We want to talk. Let's do it. Let's finish up with what we were. And by the way, we are talking to ex-Vikings linebacker and current Vikings Radio Network broadcaster Pete Bercich. Listen, you're sitting in the car. I don't know if you got to run home to mommy or wife. I don't know.
No, I'm on my way up. I'm on my way up to Minnesota for work. See, we in the Midwest, we drive a lot. We can drive and long, so we don't, it's not so crowded.
I've driven more than you, buddy. Okay.
But right now I'm in Wisconsin, so I'm in the belly of the beast. You know what I mean? So I gotta keep my eyes peeled.
There's a lot of serial killers there.
This telling me?
Let's go look for Jeffrey. Where did they bury him?
I don't know. Oh yeah, right. You always take things so far. It's like it's like
that's a trademark.
Hey, listen. If there was a serial killer I would like to hang out with, it's Jeffrey.
Hey, did you speaking of serial killers, that I'm not a big TV guy, but I did watch all that Mindhunter, the one that's on Netflix. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah, love it. Great series. It is good.
Yeah, I thought that was really good.
I thought they were going to come out with a third season. They never did. They came out with 2 seasons, and
they ran out of serial killers.
Well, I mean,
and that's the other thing too. It makes you wonder if that's even possible anymore. Because you had the what was the guy in Texas? It was like the Highway 40 guy.
Yep.
Right, and then you had I can't remember his name.
Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy.
Well,
I can name all of them.
Yeah, it's like technology's kind of killed the serial killer because it's too easy to get evidence now.
Well, first of all, just so you know, there's about 50 serial killers in Chicago, and nobody's caught them. So there's people don't talk about it because it's Chicago.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I see how it is.
The next thing you'll know, we'll find out that Caleb Williams is a serial killer.
He's beating people to death with his purse.
Well, he might be. He might be beating him with something else. Let's ask Deshaun Watson.
Oh, God.
Look at his face. He's like, here he goes again.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Off the edge. Woo!
Am I slipping or am I sliding?
Woo!
What are you doing?
You're already down. You already fell. You already fell off the edge.
I think I've hit my head too many times. CTE!
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we'll test you after the show.
Oh, man.
Test you after the show.
Oh, so I've been tested.
Obviously, passing a drug test isn't a requisite to work there.
Well, yeah,
right.
I'd pass that because I don't do any of that.
I
don't even drink either. So, believe it or not.
Right. Well, good for you. Good for you.
I'm clean cut, man, but I am crazy. I will say. People would probably think I was on drugs or drinking, but that's just who I am.
Oh no. We wouldn't think anything like that.
Yeah, who the hell is this guy? Errol Marks. I've never even heard of him. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen. One of these days you will, and when you do, you can kiss my rear end. How's that one? What is that over there? Well, put that up. Oh, that's a good one. Put that one up.
What do we got? What do we got here? Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Oh, man, I love it.
Hey, do you have like fans sending you pictures because they want to get their like the cartoon caricature up on the screen?
That's our executive producer. He is great.
Is that like making it now in the, with your fans?
Listen. The only person
I would think
the ESPN, CBS, all those stupid radio shows that are looking for great content, they should be coming up because their networks are falling apart and just crashing. And all they got to do is reach out to us and say, "Listen, we need something new. We need something good." And all I got to do is come to us, and we'll entertain the fans. We'll give them good content, and they can kiss our rear ends. Okay, that's what
right. Right, sir.
Hey, listen. I don't care, man. It doesn't matter. You put me in front of a screen. You put me in front of a mic. I'll do whatever you want as long as I keep it.
Yeah.
By the way, Beetlejuice is coming out tomorrow.
All you gotta do is keep feeding you treats. Is it possible to have an original movie again? Please, somebody. Do we have to remake everything? Oh my God. That's a whole nother. I got in a big argument with somebody recently over what, was there a sequel that's ever been better than the original movie? And I know everyone goes right to Godfather 2, but my thing, I got bent up. I thought, because I truly believe Empire Strikes Back was better than Star Wars. And then
I would agree with you. I'm a Star Wars fan.
It almost turned into a fist fight because.
And Return of the Jedi is better than Empire Strikes Back.
You now? You just lost me completely on that one.
Come on. You didn't like Return of the Jedi? I mean, you get a chance to see Jabba, that fat piece of what.
Yeah, right. You fell in love with the Ewoks and you just wanted to.
I was an Ewok.
You just want.
I was an Ewok fan.
All right, Fish, is that enough? Get an Errol Ewoks graphic.
Well, he has an Ewok. Niffin's an Ewok.
There you go. There's your new graphic.
There it is.
See? Hey, but Errol, are you a big Star Wars guy?
Love it. Yeah, I'm a big Star Wars fan.
Have you seen the Family Guy trilogy of Star Wars?
No, because I'm not a Family Guy fan.
Oh my God, the Family Guy trilogy on Star Wars is
I'll check it out.
Epic. If you're a Star Wars fan, you're gonna love that.
I'm gonna check it out. I'm not a Family Guy fan, but I'm a Star Wars diehard.
Oh my God, it's one of the it's absolutely fabulous. Yeah, you don't have to be a huge Family Guy to enjoy that, but it's pretty good. And then Robot Chicken. I don't know if you've seen the Robot Chicken bits that they've done.
My friends tell me all the time about this Robot Chicken show. Okay, and
I'm saying the way that they portray Boba Fett is just absolutely
hilarious.
Oh my God, it's second to none. It's epic. It's wonderful.
We had Jabba Chamberlain on the show, and he never watched Star Wars. Never watched Star Wars. And I'm like, Jabba, your name is Jabba, and you never seen Star. I wasn't named after that guy. I was like, you spell it the same way. I mean, so, yeah. So he says I was not named after Jabba.
Right.
Right. I did send him an opportunity to watch him. I don't know if he watched him. I've been trying to reach back out to him, but Jabba has been busy. His son's going to college. He's 17, 18 years old. He's moving on.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
You gotta kick him out of the nest. You gotta get him out. Come on.
Speedy's got a nest.
Yeah.
I know.
He's got a
nest.
I could see it from here.
Wow. You're damn right he does. I mean, there we go. Go to fans only.
There
you go.
Oh my God.
Well, if you want,
don't cater into it, Pete.
Fans only. I mean, if you want to check out some of the nice pictures we have of Speedy, just go check out his fans only.
I much prefer the picture with the me in the dress and Pete in his band form.
Yeah, there we go. That's
much better than this.
Yeah, I think so. You guys.
Well, you're in cheese country, so you might as well.
Well, I'm gonna get moving. I got to get back out of I got to get out of cheese country here.
Yeah, well, we love
so. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely, man. And
we'll see how this Vikings team does this year.
Don't count us out now. We're coming over there. We're coming to Minnesota this year. I promise you.
Dude, just let me know.
Errol's got to be there for Sam Darnold's MVP season.
I already said Sam Darnold's gonna have a good year. You're ready.
Just let me know. Yeah, come on up. Preferably in like December, January. It's beautiful up here that time of year.
I love the Colts, though.
Well, then
he has to come in his shorts.
We'll see. We'll see if that's the truth when you come up here.
I promise you, I'll be walking off that plane with shorts, just so you know, because I'm never cold. So,
all right.
I'll be wearing a t-shirt and shorts. So that's just me. Anyways,
sounds good.
We love you. Drive carefully. Right. We'll talk to you soon.
We'll see you. All right, guys. Take care.
Pete Bercich, fantastic as always. Yeah. He's awesome. Awesome. And he's driving in Wisconsin. Oh, what a show. He's fantastic.
Now we know he was in a band.
I'm moving on up to the east side. Do you like that, Speedy?
Yeah. Well, no, I'll have to have a Pete's band sing that next time he comes on.
No. I'd like you to sing it.
Oh, no. I'm not part of Pete's band.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the show. Thank you to Chris Draft for joining us. Fantastic. Pete Bercich. I know he's driving, hanging out in, serial killer country. Thank you to our friend, our executive producer, Fish, for, obviously all the great content and all the stuff, the graphics that he posts up. Thank you to Scoops for all the content, all the, sports minutes. Until then, goodbye.
You're listening to the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.